As a weightlifter, I used to find myself getting to competitions and hoping for the best when it came to the clean and jerk. More specifically, the jerk. I used to find myself exhausting hours upon hours trying to fix my jerk, only to get to a competition and either get called for a press out or just miss the jerk completely. In fact, up until recently, I had never missed a clean in competition. This was until I discovered 3 things that really helped with my jerk. So starting with number 1 was, we've all been told that you need to spend more time on the foam roller, you really need to get that thoracic into a little bit more extension, and that'll really, really help the jerk. The issue with this is that it helps, but it only helps in the short term, and it doesn't continue to help after you've already done it for, say, like a couple of weeks. So once I saw these initial improvements, I would still continue to smash it because I saw a little bit of improvement. Therefore, if I did more, I thought that would give me a better result. So now I'm not saying we don't want to use these drills altogether. It's just confining the time so that you can spend a little bit of time on that and then move to some other exercises like reaching drills. But I'm going to get to that in a little bit. The second thing that helped me tremendously was actually practicing the jerks when I was fresh. Now this might sound too simple and you might already be doing this, but there was 2 factors that played a huge role when I was practicing jerks on their own. Now I would practice with a wide range of percentages, and they wouldn't just be heavy all the time. There would be lighter days where the goal would either be speed of lockout or more explosive, a bit more fresher, and you could almost argue as a bit of a recovery. And the second goal was trying to drive intensity up. So the goal was to get load on the barbell. Now both of these, as important as they are governed by the second factor, which is the standard. So for example, I would try to set myself a specific standard on my lighter day, and I would try to set myself a specific standard on my heavier day. So on the lighter day, as soon as I lose speed, it would either be that's it for the day, it's time to move on, or it's drop the weight to continue with the standard. On my heavier day, when I'm trying to drive intensity up, it's not just about getting weight on the bar and throw form to the court, throw form to the wind. The goal would be, no steps, steady in the lockout, no press outs whatsoever. And as long as I'm doing those things, I can lift a little bit heavier or hold a heavy weight for, 2 to 3 sets. Now, number 3, the last thing that helped me a lot was learning to reach in my accessory exercises. So I would still do some thoracic stuff from time to time, just, if I was sitting down at a desk, a lot of remote programming, you can kind of find yourself hunched over, and that would make me feel good, but I'd spend a little bit of time on that. Now, once I'd kind of gotten into my accessories, or this could have been on an accessory day or at the end of a session, if I was doing some dumbbell related work, I would actually actively incorporate a reach. But I would do this with my pelvis as neutral as possible. Now, the goal behind this is to really encourage some mobility. So if I'm really, really tight overhead, like I was when I first started doing these exercises, I would probably go like on an incline bench, something that allowed me to reach as high as possible without compromising, like a flat back against the bench. Now, that's not saying that's how we snatch or clean and jerk, but this is just something that encouraged me to increase my mobility without necessarily going and doing a ton of stretching. I was actively getting stronger in these areas while I increased my range of motion. So as an example, if I was doing an incline dumbbell bench, I might have my feet a little bit elevated. That would keep my pelvis neutral, my ribs neutral, and then when I got to the top of the exercise, I would reach. So not losing height, but I would reach as far as I can to get those shoulder blades to reach around the body. Over time, these might have become inclined to seated dumbbell bench press, same kind of thing. I'm trying to shift my weight back just a little bit to allow those shoulder blades to move. And when I would get to the top of this, the reach would become more of an active shrug. So yes, you'd get a little bit of traps in this. There's nothing wrong with that. Their goal at the top of a press is to help elevate. Now, by focusing on these 3 things, it really helped grow my jerk. It meant that in my most recent competition, with a lot less training than I've been able to manage, I could actually put a good clean and jerk together that meant I qualified for senior nationals. Now, if you're looking for some alternative mobility exercises for your jerk, I'll attach a video here, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, guys.